Hello there, thank you for joining us and welcome to another edition of the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Greig and this evening in studio with me, Ms. Sophie Tekie, the head of the road management system at the Roads Authority. How are you today, ma'am?
Fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm very well. This morning you launched the project control system, but before we get to that, I'd like us to go way back to the beginning. Tell us, what is the Roads Authority?
Okay. So from 1995 to the year 2000, there was an initiative from the World Bank where when they were lending money to developing countries, they didn't only want construction of roads, but also to have maintenance.
Okay.
And we call that, life cycle of a road. So for 20 years, the lifespan of a road is 20 to 25 years. So instead of just giving money or lending money for that specific, construction, they also wanted maintenance and rehabilitation to be included.
Yeah.
So this was called then the Road Maintenance Initiative at the time. And this initiative went like a wave in all African countries and developing countries, where we came and we said, yes, we keep on building roads, but we don't maintain them.
Yeah.
And this road maintenance initiative had 4 pillars. One was regarding how do we finance our road network. The second is to create the different institutions that will support road maintenance, which is like state-owned enterprises or parastatals. The third one was how do we build capacity, local capacity, in order to maintain our roads. And the last one was, what are the financing models that are available, in African countries, so that it doesn't, the money doesn't only come from government appropriation, from parliament government appropriation, but are there other mechanisms out there?
Okay.
So this was the initiative, and of course Namibia embarked on this initiative, and I was part and parcel also of this initiative as a young engineer, want to change the world. So from 1995 to 2000, there was a lot of consultation with stakeholders. What can we do, especially the transporters, with trucks that are damaging our roads, and are they willing to pay, the fuel levy, for example? And with that, then obviously in the year 2000, 3 entities were formed. One is the Road Fund Administration, that is in charge of funding the national road network. The second one is the Road Authority, and that is to manage the national road network. And the third one was, because we did everything in-house with force account, we had over 2,000 workers, who are in the field constructing roads or maintaining roads. And that then obviously the government didn't want to lay them off. So all of that then, all those employees went to the roads contractor company.
Okay.
But then it became a PTY limited company to be competitive with other SMEs or other contractors, and it was agreed that they will get for 3 years work directly from the Road Authority, but from then onwards they will be competitive. So this was the reason why these entities were created, to cut out bureaucracy and to make sure that there is sufficient money for the national road network, because they are the backbone of the economy.
Yes. You mentioned the national road network. How big is our network? And then you can also perhaps from there lead us into the road management system.
All right, so I can give the statistics maybe after the break. I have the exact kilometers, but it's about 50,000 kilometers of roads that we are looking at. And if you look at it, Craig, if you have only 3 million people and this huge network, the number of cars that we have or vehicles is about 450,000, say about 500,000 maximum. So can they also generate that kind of revenue to maintain our roads? So we are really having a bit of a challenge there. But our national road network was rated one of the best in Africa by the World Economic Forum for 5 consecutive years, from 2017 for 5 years. And but if you look at our network now, it's really deteriorating. So we need to go back to the drawing board and say what can be done and where are we going to get the funding as well, so that we can maintain our roads on optimum level.
Okay. So is that what the road management system does?
Yes. So what the road management system does is, we kept on building roads and we don't maintain them. And all over the world, including developed countries, they have a challenge now because there is not sufficient funding to maintain the roads. And therefore, there is a principle under Section 19.2 of the RFA Act and the rules and principles, where it talks about minimization of total transport cost. And this concept is a very important concept because the reason why the road authority was formed was so that the road users will have return on investment. It's like any other business. If you go and you want to invest on a certain business, there has to be return on investment.
Yeah.
So the model then was stating that if the road users are willing to contribute money through the fuel levy or through mass distance charges,
Yes.
or through cross-border charges or license fees, then they must get that return on investment. So, which means that the road authority's obligation is to give them good roads for the road users.
Yes.
And then for every good road, we can even have a road as smooth as this table, but then it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the road users will be happy the more the road authority spends money on the roads.
Yes.
But then it's unaffordable. Therefore, we need to balance now what we can afford as a road authority, but then the road users also will not lose money. Therefore, the summation of the road user cost versus the road authority cost is called the total transportation cost.
I see, okay.
And the road user cost is comprised of what we call the vehicle operating cost, the travel time cost, and the accident cost. The about 70 to 80% of the road user cost comes from vehicle operating cost. And the vehicle operating cost is the cost of your tire, the cost of labor for when you take your car to the garage.
Yes.
It's all the costs that are related, the tire costs, because if you hit a pothole, then you need a new tire, right?
Yes.
So that is what we call the vehicle operating cost. And the smoother the road is, the lower the vehicle operating cost.
Yes.
And if we don't have potholes and we maintain our roads, the lower the vehicle operating cost. And that's when then you and me as a road user, we are happy.
Yes.
But then the road authority must invest to patch those potholes, to upgrade the road, say from gravel to bitumen standard, and all that we need a lot of money.
Yes.
So this total transport cost then, to minimize that is the aim of the road authority, meaning, or the transportation sector, meaning the road users will not lose, nor the road authority will lose. And that is what we call the minimum point of that graph is then the minimization of total transport cost. And all of this is described in Section 19.2 under rules and principles of the RFA Act. And also, when the Road Authority Act states efficient and effective national road network, it is referring to the minimization of total transport cost. Therefore, the Road Authority has the obligation to keep these roads on an optimum level, but also, not everything is economically warranted.
Yes.
We also have to give access to the less privileged, to the social roads, to clinics, to schools, and that still comes from government appropriation. So what the road management system does is, how much money should come from the government appropriation and how much money must come from the road fund administration. And then we quantify that by utilizing the World Bank model called the HDM4, Highway Management and Development Program. And that's what then the road management system does.
Okay. It sounds like a very intricate balancing act, but I think it's definitely very necessary. And I think that it sets us up nicely to come to the project control system which you launched this morning. So let's begin with the beginning again. What is the project control system?
Okay, so maybe before that, there is one concept also. If we maintain our roads on an optimum level, the optimum amount at this point in time, as of last year, is 5 billion Namibian dollars. If we spend 5 billion Namibian dollars on road construction, road maintenance, upgrade to low volume, regraveling of our gravel roads, maintenance of our salt roads at the cost, then the road users are happy, the road authority is happy, the economy is also good.
Okay.
But now, if we cut the budget by 20% or 40%, and right now, the Road Fund Administration is only giving us 40% of that budget.
Sure.
So which means we are now on the curve, on this side of the curve, which means the road users are losing as well as the road authority is losing. Meaning, for every $1, the Road Fund Administration does not spend on needed maintenance, the road users lose 3 Namibian dollars.
Sure.
And that 3 Namibian dollars could have been used for building schools or other, other needs of the country. So it's a lose-lose situation. But what we want to have is a win-win situation. And that's why the Road Authority keeps on asking that minimum funding from Road Fund Administration.
Okay.
Now, what we need to look at is then, how do we manage these projects? It's plan, design, construct, maintain. And Section 16 of the Road Authority Act of 1999 states that the D part, so we plan, we maintain, we construct, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But there is a fourth leg of engineering, and that is now the road management system.
Okay.
Meaning it's the thread that connects all of these activities, when to do what, how much to spend.
Yes.
And these 50,000 kilometers of our road network, it's 220 billion Namibian dollars of asset, the worth of the asset.
Sure.
So 220 billion. That's why roads must be managed as a business.
Ms. Tekie, let's take a quick break because we have to go for a commercial. But I think as soon as we get back,
Talk about PCF.
We'll be able to do that. Please
Sure.
stay with us.
All right.
Welcome back to the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Craig, and we continue our conversation with Ms. Sophie Tekie, who heads the road management system at the Roads Authority. Ms. Tekie, you were about to enlighten us about the PCS, the Project Control System, which was officially launched this morning.
Wonderful. Just on our network, I have the stats now. The bituminous road network is 8,423 kilometers. Our low-volume surface roads are 560 kilometers. Our gravel roads are 25,980 kilometers. Salt roads around the coast is 393 kilometers. Earth graded is 8,130. Earth sand 366 kilometers. Earth truck 5,181. Proclaimed only, these are roads that are proclaimed but not yet built, especially in our northern region. That's 757 kilometers. Total proclaimed roads that we have is 49,790 kilometers.
Wow.
So this is what the national road network looks like.
Yes.
Now, so the Road Authority does the feasibility studies, then it does design. From design, if it's feasible, if it's feasible, it does the design, then it goes and does the actual construction. And once we construct, we have to go and maintain the road.
Yes.
And when we do maintenance, it goes back, at one point, if the road is not needed anymore, we decommission this road and we leave it. So we call this, from cradle to grave.
Uh-huh.
So this is now the life cycle of a road.
Yes.
And the road management now comes and says, when should we do what? When do we reseal a road? When do we regravel a road? When do we rehabilitate? And how much is it going to cost us? So it's a very important system, which is stipulated in the Act. 16D states the road management system. So it is a legal obligation that the road management system must be maintained by the Road Authority.
Okay.
Now, when we look at each project that is identified for any of these activities, it goes through this life cycle. And then now we need to That's now when it becomes a project. So on a network analysis, the road management system identifies which roads need attention.
Yes.
And once that is identified now, if we have the sufficient money, we go and we do the work.
Okay.
If not, then we have to cut back.
Yeah.
And even that cutting is optimized through the road management system.
Okay.
Now, the project control system states that the project system, the PCS, provides an easy-to-use comprehensive management portal that integrates budgeting, program performance monitoring, project execution oversight, and expenditure tracking to ensure full transparency and informed decision-making across all projects within the Road Authority.
Okay.
So we want to now capture every project. When is it starting? When is it ending? What is the physical progress of the project? What is the plan? And at the end of the day, what is also the financial consequences of each of these projects? If, for example, the project is delayed, what happens?
Okay.
Now, in the Road Authority, for example, or all our stakeholders like the Ministry of Works and Transport, or when we look at the Ministry of Finance, they always ask us, what are the projects to be funded by the road fund?
Okay.
What are the projects to be funded by government appropriation? What is the project number? How much is it? What is the plan? So all of this now will be in a system.
Okay.
Because instead of now sitting in a spreadsheet, it will be now in a proper system. And this has taken us quite a while because there needs to be a buy-in. People sometimes resist. So it's also, that's why the road management system is not only about softwares, it's also about the people, it's about engineering and putting basically economics, ICT, engineering in one pot.
I see.
That is what road management is. And today, Honorable Minister of Transport, Honorable Nakundi, he launched this project, which was actually overdue, supported by our CEO. Our CEO supported this initiative, and also the chairman of the board also supported us.
Okay.
And for us, this is a happy day because, after working basically for 2 years, it cost us about 13 million Namibian dollars. And after a lot of sweat and tears and challenges, we have used now these challenges as a stepping stone towards victory.
Yes.
And of course, now it was a happy day for us.
Yes.
And we wanted to share with Honorable a big dashboard that we have screen of 3 meters by 3 meters of exactly what's happening. And
Wow.
incidentally, yesterday I saw Honorable Sankwasa is in Ethiopia, in
Yeah.
Addis Ababa. Actually, my first hometown, but this is my actual hometown now.
Yeah.
And where he was looking at dashboards regarding housing, right? So this is the same thing, but in roads.
Yes. Yes.
And really, Honorable was very happy, and he said, of course, he had another occasion to officiate, but he said he will come back. So hopefully he will come back and see more of what we can do. And can you imagine now on your tablet or on your iPad or even phone,
Yeah.
just to go, Vintuk Okahanya Road,
And you
how
get
much
the
is it?
information.
And then you get the information.
And is it interactive? The person
Yes.
out there can
Yes.
put in
So
information.
look, it's not yet obviously to the public, but
Yeah.
once it is populated, the summarized information now will be available to the public. So we can see how many projects are delayed, how many projects are in par, how many projects are, warning sign, so that, management can also go and have intervention. The whole idea is to assist the engineer, to assist the decision makers. And if one, say, project engineer is not around on a Friday afternoon, then you can go quickly on the system and check it. And nowadays we talk about digitalization, we talk about, the whole, AI and
Yeah.
whatever. And what we are saying in RMS is when we showed the hub, the exhibition space that we launched in November 2025,
Yeah.
we showed Honorable that, look, the whole idea is we are here now, but the next generation is AI.
Yes.
So maybe, you just put your phone, take a picture, it will have recognition by itself, it
Yeah.
will tell you what it is.
Yeah.
And then we can, maintain our roads. And of course, technology is important, but technology must be fit for purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
And this is what now with the project control system, we have now unified project oversight, budget versus actual expenditure, feedback. It comes, feedback from the contractors, and because the idea is every invoice can now be uploaded by the contractor and the consultant. That's what we want, because to make it paperless,
Yes.
This invoice now you sign, sent to finance, it gets lost. We want now all of that to be automated.
And there's a record now.
And there is a record also,
Yeah.
the trail.
Yeah.
And of course, automated time-based reports. Quarterly reports now can be generated. Track budget revisions. Now, every quarter there are budget revisions, delay in this project, or this
Yes,
project needs
yes.
more money, and we do what we call environmentations.
Yes.
All of that now can be tracked.
Awesome.
And this is the beauty of having a system and one database, not a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, brilliant. Now, I would imagine that the core purpose of having the project control system is to ensure that the projects are completed the way we want, on time, on budget, on track, and the rest of it.
Yes.
I want to find out from you, what is our current rate of successful completion of road projects, and what are we aiming to achieve with the PCS?
So the PCS now will show the green, like robot lights,
Yeah.
the amber and the red. And right now we have loaded about 150 projects, and we are keep on loading. And hopefully, maybe next time when we meet, I will tell you exactly where we are, or Honorable Minister or our CEO will come and say. But obviously, when you execute projects, there is a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
One is the cash flow sometimes, that, like now, fuel went down. The fuel levy also was not sufficient, that the money that was coming from Road Fund Administration. So we had to slow down some projects. And sometimes we have to speed some projects. So it depends on basically the environment that we are in and the cash flow. But honestly speaking, at this point in time, we really need proper control, so that, also only when there is budget for that project, a project should start.
Yes.
But sometimes, we might start a project when there is not sufficient money yet, thinking that the money will come. So all of these things are, working together with Road Fund and government. We are really trying to bridge that gap as much as we can. But the main crisis at this point in time is we do not have sufficient money.
Yeah.
And always what the RMS also has proposed is, sometimes when the fuel levy goes down, instead of going down that $2, whatever, why don't we give it to the road fund? Because that then will maintain our roads. And when we maintain our roads, the vehicle operating cost goes down. At the end of the day, transportation cost goes down. So the bread we buy, the furniture or whatever comes from South Africa and wherever else, it is then reduced, you
Yes,
see.
yes.
Otherwise now the transporters will add and everything becomes more expensive.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we want to have, as I said earlier, win-win situation.
Yes.
And the project control system will help us. But at this point in time, I cannot say, because we are still populating the data, and we are envisaging, say, maximum by 15th of September, that all the data will be populated, and hopefully by end of September, when the board now gets the status of projects, it will be from the system.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tekie. I really appreciate that insight, and I'm sure our viewers do too. Now that we have come almost to the end of our program, I'd like you to leave them with a last message.
The last message that we have is what we said on our logo here is, we have one version of the truth. So whether it is, when it goes to finance, or when it goes to the project engineer on site, he knows more than anybody else. If he enters the information, then everybody across the organization will have that information. So the slogan was one version of the truth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining us on the Evening Review. I hope you can also access one version of the truth and enjoy our wonderful roads in Namibia. For now, good night.
Thank you.